Children's exposure to violence against child, risk and consequences. In this video, we will help you to understand what it could be risks and consequences for children experiencing violence. Exposure to violence at an early age can have short and long-term consequences for children's mental and physical health, well-being, education, and relationship with their parents and with others. Our project team has done the research. We have talked with many parents in various countries. Let's listen to what they told us. First parent says, "Yes, it is traumatic. If it is physical, yes, it is humiliating. It diminishes the self-esteem of a child." Second parent says, "I mean, the humiliation. First, that remains then actually the way of judging. I think, well, it is not a good thing. It's a damaging thing. Well, those physical punishments." Third parent says, "I think that punishment is damaging the child's psyche. It has a traumatic effect on the child and it damages the child's socialization. The child will be less confident. Maybe his psychological equilibrium may be disturbed. I think that because all children, all human beings are adaptive, we all adapt. Somehow, we adapt to the conditions that we find ourselves in, that children become either frightened, timid, or insolent, angry, and aggressive. From what I have learned, I think that punishment has a negative effect. I think that punishment has a crushing effect, frightening, discouraging." Fourth parent says, "I think it is first damaging for the psychology of the child. Many children who are punished are psychological damaged children. A child can become withdrawn, depressed, a child who does not socialize with others." Fifth parent says, "I suppose it is like any violence. It is invading your personal space. It is violating something that is very personal. It is practically questioning you as a person in a way, because really, the invasion of your space, of who you are, your dignity is being trampled on and violated in a way. It is being taken away from you in a way." Sixth parent says, "There are adolescents and children who become aggressive towards others, towards their peers. They use violence themselves and they start using psychotropic substances and everything else. These are in fact very big problems for children who are exposed to violence. It is very difficult for them to socialize into life, and of course, they bring this kind of family model with them when they create their own family. It's like a circle." It was the experience of real people. Now, let's look at what scientific studies show us. First line. Various studies have used magnetic resonance imaging, encephalograms, and other neuroimaging tools to understand the consequences of exposure to violence for children's brain development. In general, the differences in brain structure and function were found between children that had been exposed to violence and their non-exposed peers. The most outstanding differences are evidenced in areas such as the prefrontal cortex, amygdala, the anterior cingulate cortex, which can comprise cognitive and regulatory processes with long-term consequences on behaviors, learning, and social relationships, among others. Second line. Studies have also shown that violence impacts a child's cognitive development, memory, attention, and executive function, and increases their likelihood of experiencing academic and social difficulties with their peers and teachers. Third line. Similarly, violence in childhood can produce harmful effects on social-emotional development, such as emotional dysregulation, greater reactivity to stressful events throughout life, and higher levels of aggressiveness. Fourth line. Maltreated children are more likely to suffer from internalizing and externalizing problems. They have some difficulties in perspective taking and may get rejected by their peers. Fifth line. Exposure to violence in early childhood also has the potential to produce strong and persistent negative consequences on people's mental health. Systematic reviews of scientific literature have found that these consequences include depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress. Furthermore, maltreatment may compromise the developing brain and expose children to physical problems until adult life. Sixth line. Exposure to violence additionally increases the risk of problematic use of substances such as alcohol, tobacco, and drugs in adulthood. Children exposed to violence also tend to experience health problems more frequently, such as eating disorders, risky sexual behaviors, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, migraines, and other diseases compared to children who were not exposed to these adversities. It was recently discovered that early exposure to violence could lead to more accelerated cellular aging throughout life. Seventh line. Children's exposure to violence is a predictor of their future engagement in abusive love relationships and violent parenting towards their own daughters and sons. Eighth line. Finally, besides the evident personal repercussions that take place throughout life in the family, community, social and work environments, violence against children also has consequences for countries, since it leads to a significant increase in costs related to public health, social services, administration of justice, human security, and productivity. Besides implying greater investments in welfare services for the population, these higher costs also erode countries' productive capacity and the economic well-being of future generations. You can learn more about violence risk and consequences for children by visiting our project website or enrolling in educational courses. Follow information on the link.